lines. They were able to watch EG in their earlier game against Forsaken. They've been able to game plan a little bit more. They've been able to come into this fresh, rested, and ready to go. Is that always a good thing, though? We'll have to see. I don't know though, Nate. It's a bit of a coin flip here as we jump into Ancient, ESL Challenger North American Close Qualifier for Jönköping is starting out right now. The grand final, Nouns versus EG, one best of three. Decides which team hops on the plane, heads to Sweden, which team stays at home, grumbles and gripes about not being able to be there. EG on T, Nouns on CT. No full Kevlar. Cynic has bought nothing. He wants the op. Oh, never mind. There he goes. Are we live?
Forgot it. We're live. Gotta be. Marky in caves. He's been prolific here. Gotta peek through Jaguar. His support as well, but it doesn't matter. He finds the opener. Two coming in response, but B-Will's backing him up. B-Will's is in the server. Not exotic. Important to note. He is present for the squad. That was a very, very big question mark for us. We asked the players before the game even started, and they said it's a secret, and I quote. And that is definitely a surprise to me. Page had a listed exotic. Good gush and finisher from HexT onto one, but it's just a little bit of damage. It cannot change the outcome of this round. Junior, the last alive, utility and a P250. And while the P250 is a very potent weapon, especially in Junior's hands, I don't think it'll be good enough to find 4, especially when he's lacking Kevlar. Crept away to 37.
It's good to see B-Will's back in. Not sure the circumstances in which he left yesterday, but it's always good to see a player return. And he helps Marky start things off quite nicely, although Marky doing the brunt of that work. Nothing Junior can do in the end there. And a strong start for Nouns, but EG have been known to take a while to get up to power, up to gear. That acceleration, it's not fast, Nate. It's not 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It's more like 6.5 rounds.
Yeah. I will say, the fact that the veto is the exact same, I think, helps out Nouns more because they are the team we have been calling more fluid. They probably have an easier time making adjustments in reads than other more regimented teams. So we'll have to see if that bears out in this rematch head-to-head. Keep in mind, a lot is on the line here. This is the grand finals. The winner gets to go to ESL Challenger Jönköping. It's a big tournament to qualify for. Nouns, they have the investment. There's resting back. Cynic is on only USP. That's not a mistake. He wants to save for the op. EG are just, it feels like, can't even recall what kind of animals, like goats when they try to intimidate people. They just rush and stop right before. I think it's actually cows that do that. EG just rushing in a main, hoping to draw a rotation or a peek out. But of course, no one was. So now they'll just fall back and probably go for a pop over B with the Glocks.
It's not going to be too much in the end that we can expect from this EG round. The one flashbang might not even come into play. Junior's already been spotted. B-Wills is here. The flash goes out. B-Wills picks up one. Carson at range will help support, but he's taking dinks, and they're charging down on him now. He's running out of ammunition, and George has that MP9. He will upgrade to an M4 if he can get there before CJ does. Now 3 players in middle, a sprint towards A, and a chance to get the bomb down before anyone can stop it. They will get the bomb plant. That is a victory for the Evil Geniuses. 2 kills plus plant. Not shabby at all, and I think Cynic can at least pick up the rifle. He will. But overall, a successful round on the Glocks from Evil Geniuses, and a little overzealousness with that fight yields some space for EG to capitalize upon. Now they're going to get a full buy up, all of the money they need. Op for Junior. He'll have that in his hands. Cynic, of course, because he has the USP, has the op as well. But EG's buy going to be severely bolstered by that extra $800.
800 is not an amount to bat an eye at. It's a good amount for utility. George is hurting a bit, but I believe he dropped one of the... I think he might have dropped the op, actually, and that does make sense. Other than that, they have everything they can desire. Fast play towards B is the name of the game. The op is here for Cynic, but it's blinded and forced back into caves. Eagles has to do a lot from the back of sight, but he's known. He gets a dink, but not the outright kill. And Junior takes down Carson, holding for this mid flank. Very well-placed shot from the opper. Spam from Marky, though. Does damage. It makes this recoverable. It makes it doable. Junior and HexT are both low on HP. So I'll have to worry about that op. That's a very critical factor. And Cynic's op of his own is going to be very unwieldy in a retake. You can tell he's already headed for the hills. He's not going to attempt this. Marky, he's thinking better of it as well. A quick round for EG to get them on the board. This is the best start they could ask for given a pistol round loss.
Yeah, definitely a good start to get back into this one that early. Nouns saving at least 2 guns. Will attempt to make sure it's 3. Especially saving the op is going to be nice. But for now,
with their pants down.
Not the right start. Yeah, they just got completely blinded on that full-on rush up B ramp. And I think for EG, that's going to be something to really put in the back pocket. All right. We burned them with speed. Let's do it again. Ka-chow until we can't anymore.
There's an easy response, though. Just Molotov the ramp. I don't know why they didn't slow him down.
Because EG plays slow usually, so they were probably holding on to the Molotov for later.
That's true. A good adjustment from EG to start things off and get themselves on the board earlier than they did in their matchup versus Forsaken in the consolidation final. Keep in mind they were down, what, 0-6 at one point and 0-4 in the other?
Mm-hmm.
This is a far quicker start. Oh, spotted, but Carson falls. I think it was spotted. Maybe the smoke was already bloomed. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell with the X-ray after all. Either way, EG are once again grouped up and leaning towards B, but not outright committing. Still have a player holding middle, still have a player holding A main. There are 4 players leaning towards B from the Nouns defense as well.
Slow round now from EG. Much more their usual pacing. Methodical. Trying to bait out aggression from a Noun squad that has been known to get a little antsy. To go probing perhaps a little too far away from the mothership. CJ up top, if he's not blinding, can farm for 2. This is the first spray, and that's a big miss for him, but Cynic does answer with 1 in return. Still hanging around, peeks out too wide. Walco trades it 2 for 1. Space and bomb plant for EG. Carson not going to be able to stop it. In fact, he won't be able to get by automatic. Marky does get 1 on the smoke spam, bringing it to a 2v2. There's still a lot of space for jeorge, and he will make it work. Op shot onto B Wills. Marky in towards Temple. Not going to relinquish this just yet. 5-0 start for Marky, but he's been spotted. jeorge doesn't have to peek. He's got a friend in Donut. Automatic. We'll play off of him, and jeorge will just hit the shot. 2-2 and 2 in a row for EG. Nouns are broke. But Nouns don't like to call timeouts, Nate. I would say Nouns call a timeout next gun round. I don't think that's going to happen.
So as far as I can tell, the coach is not, I know he's not in the server, but I don't think he's in the voice comms either. So I'm not sure how much info, or if any info, can be imparted by the coaches. So it does make timeouts a fair bit less useful, especially for a team like Nouns. That might explain the reluctance to use a timeout. It's going to be a save for the CT side regardless. He does have a 5-7 that could do something, but I'm not certain. The trade from Marky does damage, and jeorge is quite low as well. These USPs are doing quite a fair bit damage, and CJ on this flank. Another kill and an upgraded rifle could be huge. Oh, the 5-7 just inaccurate. It felt like he had that player dead to right. CJ. So unfortunate. He's just Marky. As you mentioned, he's had a heater for himself, but a 1 versus 4 with only a USP is too tall a task. That is certain. It's going to be EG stealing the lead away on the T side in the early goings of Ancient.
Yeah, this is a really good start for EG. 3-2 lead here. It is their map pick. And they've started to gain some ground on it too. Really starting to get comfortable here in CS2 on it. No op for Cynic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Feels like he gets a little hampered in terms of multi-kill situations with the op. He's a lot more fluid with the rifle, which is something that was really refreshing to watch him with the rifle back when he first set down the op on the Nouns roster.
So long ago now as well. Time really does fly. Lots of early damage taken by Carson in middle. You mentioned it. He was a menace pressing down aggressively as the IGL yesterday. Not having quite as much success now, but Cynic instead will take up the mantle of aggressor towards towards Snake, excuse me. Finding one. Although he is immediately traded. Marky. Very worried about this house press. Holding his ground, and CJ very far away, just trying to spot the A main aggression.
Carson's got a lot of work to do in Donut. He does not have a lot of time to get it done. First push comes in, spots the shadow. One and not the second. Jeorge, in the meantime, finishes off Marquee. So the sight hold is falling apart. Automatic doubles up. And that's a sight for Sore Eyes. Is automatic popping off for the evil geniuses. Nouns have B-Wheels, and he's caught through the smoke. I don't know if Jeorge saw an outline or what, but that was a crispy tap. And EG 4 straight rounds. Nouns, no responses, half buy forthcoming, maybe a mid-scrim, just run it down, do what damage they can, maybe pick up a gun or two and see if they can pick up the round. It's not going to be a fun round, though, for Nouns, all things considered. EG starting to take control of this half early. They do win most of the rounds on the T side, too, or CT side, rather, on this map, so not exactly a good situation for Nouns to be in.
This from CJ, but it should be expected by Walco. Walking in is CJ. 1-2 secured on the 5-7. He messed up the first time. He won't miss the second. Junior scope might have been heard as well. 4 versus 3 secured. Carson was lost in the early goings towards middle. Donut control taken by the T's, but they still find themselves down a man regardless. This round is still touch and go. It's still far from over, but it is definitely doable now for Nouns, thanks to CJ. Question is, does he probe too far? It seems like he's toying with the idea. Nice little off angle from the AK. He spots the shadow, but he does not pull the trigger. Junior on the op again. Looking hot for EG as he finds them away into the A site.
I don't think CJ actually saw Junior. He only saw the shadow.
Yeah, he only saw the shadow, I think. Maybe a...
So is right eye peek a thing now? I thought it was left eye peek.
I thought it was right, but I have no idea.
I always thought it was left eye peek, but...
Frank heard Cynic as well. Heard was spotted by the shadow. Automatic gets that kill for free. Op posted. Junior does not miss shots. Not today. Marky, the last alive once again, right outside of the temple. Eagle in hand, but he's the opposite range. I don't think he stands a chance. No, he does not. Junior showing us what it's like to op in CS2. Finally finding his groove. To be honest, everybody on EG is finding their groove. Walco and HexT haven't had to do much. Jeorge, Automatic, and Junior, though. 7 a pop.
Yeah, they're just doing all the heavy lifting. And not a bad trio if you're EG to do that. Theoretically, EG have 4 players who can top frag on any given map. Oh, there's Carson getting his job done early down middle. Such a menace in their previous meeting on this map yesterday. He's only good for 1, though. Walco will avenge his comrade. Marky coming over top. He sees that nade, gets spotted by Jeorge, who gets traded out by B-Wills. 3v3. CJ also down bottom mid. Has to worry about that smoke fade. Spots out Junior, who hits the leg shot. But HexT comes in to help out, sitting 1v2 to a 1v1. Tapping away for Walco's head. He comes over top, and Walco gets dinked, but the AK wins the day. Big round from the in-game leader of EG. And hey, there's the 5th member of EG, not the guy you look to really get all those kills, but still a quality fragger nonetheless, win required. When Impact. EG is playing like this, they are incredibly tough to beat.
And we saw this in the game versus Forsaken earlier as well. Once again, when they get the ball rolling, they don't slow down at all. It's 6 in a row now for the offensive, and Nouns are once more on a half buy. Sure, it's a half buy that can be a scary quandary to deal with. Those 5-7s and those deagles can definitely get it done, but Evil Geniuses have done really well to win these rounds convincingly.
Yeah, EG's been doing a good job of controlling the early picks and then just exploding after it. Look how much ground Carson has gained out middle. There's a lot of information. There's nobody here. He hears a spray. He'll probably, yeah, he's peeking up towards Snake, making sure there's nobody there. They have to expect him here, though. They're already spraying for it.
He sat here
If he
before in
gets
the last
more than
matchup.
one out of here, it'll be lucky. Oh my gosh, he actually might get something. That's a chunky nade. Automatic 6 HP, 44 on Walco. They're going to sprint into A, but there's the players rotating in for this. That's a nice little angle. It's going to be tough for Junior to get rid of. HexT goes down. Junior trades it out, but the damage is there. The pistols can make this work.
And Carson up close, 5-7, spams away one. Junior, good trade, but the nade for a double from Beebles is huge. It's just Junior. 4 HP. He picked up an AK for one, but he has 2 more to deal with and no HP. 20 seconds left. The utility damage brutal in this round, and it could be the difference maker. It could be what gives Nouns an eco victory. The last two playing the numbers game as they should, mainly to prevent the plant from coming through. 8 seconds left. Junior just has to save. He's going to give away the round. Doesn't want to give them the op. That's a good idea as well. Cynic will push for a weapon. Does get it. Does Junior get the kill? Does he peek over? No. There's a slightly longer post-game timer than he might have gotten one of those two, but that's only conjecture. 3-6. What a way for Nouns to get back on the board, and EG understandably calling attack timeout off the back of it. Possibly feeling a little bit frazzled by the utility damage in that one.
Yeah, the nades down middle, absolutely huge. And then the nade from B Wills onto the wounded players. Perfect dunk. Ugly one to lose for EG, and a good timeout to call just to settle things down and reset mentally. It's coming down to the point where EG have already gotten 6 on the T side. Everything else is just piling on the weight. They've done at least the bare minimum for success. Need a couple more to really establish that stranglehold. Only 3 more rounds to go too, Nate. This half is almost over. Carson! Only able to get 1. That flash from Junior enables the refrag.
Some damage done to HexT though. Aggressive posturing from Nouns has yielded some early kills. CJ, this is a nice off angle towards Donut. Could very well find a Walco. You know, timing's everything. So he will get the first tag player. He will get the second. Walco takes a while to swing, and that allows the spray to reset. That's a big pair of kills that now go unanswered. Junior and Jeorge. Double J trying to go in towards A from A main. We'll have to clear out Donut as well. This seems near impossible. Cynic getting backside finds the first. It's just the op now. 1 versus 4 and misses the first shot. Has so much damage taken. Will be gifted wants to be Wills. Jumping into the flames. Junior's lucky to be alive. He'll just run away right into the arms of Marky. Or will he? It's an awkward standoff. No one wants to peek into an op. Marky thinks about it, but he's not going to overextend. Not going to give Junior away back into it.
Are they going to let Junior save 2 rounds in a row?
No, they're going to hunt him now. They're going to squeeze him. It's a matter of time. There it is. Yeah. Do they want the op? No. 3
Smart.
AKs instead. I'd say it's smart as well. I do like Cynic more on the rifle than the op. He's actually doing quite well for his team. Top of the board. That's CJ, excuse me. Cynic. Struggling, actually. Ironically, said that. Not doing terrible, though. Still showing moments of brilliance. That kill from backside was a good one.
Yeah, it was a nice headshot. Jeorge still in spawn. Now leaving with the Tech 9. A little bit of utility. Should be chucking that out towards middle. 4 grouped up outside of B. Snake control fully taken by Nouns. Nothing really forthcoming yet from EG on this half buy. Nouns with an opportunity to bring it to within 1 going into the last round of the half. Their money's not great though, so it can get battered and bruised by some damage from EG.
Do you want to punish this
Has
aggression?
to be careful.
Yeah, we've seen this push multiple times thus far in this half. They're trying to punish it. Flash over for HexT, and a straight pile out is the call. Marky racing away, hoping to do something. B will spam this smoke. There's so much damage, but no kill, and there we go. Marky is run down. B Will's now going to try to do something, but no. Automatic spams him away with the hero Galil. Now things get saucy. Now things get interesting. Carson's flank does offer some inroads in towards Cave. Can they clear out the rest of this defense on the site? Cynic 1, CJ a second, HexT is low. It looks like they might be able to do it. CJ finds yet another, just automatic the Galil. He's found the first, but he needs the second. Bomb ticking away. Kit for CJ, automatic though, just biding his time. Automatic, peeking in, hits the head. It is a 3K, no, a 4K on the Galil for the old gun of EG, and he shows us why he is such a valuable asset to this squad.
First it was Nouns to win the half buy, then it's EG's turn, bolstered by Automatic, who's having himself a great map. Up there towards the top, tied with Junior. Fantastic work from Automatic, who's really coming alive in this series. Sometimes he has his moments. It hasn't been as consistent, I think, as EG would have liked throughout the history of this refreshed roster. But if they can get more performances like this from Automatic, this team becomes infinitely more scary, and I think Complexity are going to have to start shaking their boots a little bit when up against this EG roster. Marky gets spammed down to the door, but CJ doing what he's been doing, opening up rounds for Nouns. He's been a sight for sore eyes for the Nouns side in CS2 so far. He's now leading the server on the scoreboard. Cynic, though, with that op in hand. Dangerous angle to peek with the scoped rifle.
Junior's watching forward. It might be the first op duel we've seen in this whole map.
Haven't seen a lot of op v op duels in CS2 in general.
We haven't at all, because they can't really peek as well. They had to hold. CJ, though, is doing well to hold down a whole side of the map. No way they can go towards A. They have to go towards middle or B. B will chips away one with the MP9. There's the opping duel, and Cynic wins it. Carson tucked in the corner. Not expected at all with the FAMAS. He'll find one. He'll find two. They do recover Nouns. They're still behind. Can they bring it back? We'll see after the break.
Let's love for the night. Slow dance till the sun comes up. Let's touch under lights. Slow dance. Till we're high on love, high on love. Till we're high on love, high on love. Till we're high on love.
Nouns started out with a couple of rounds. EG brought it back, and then a back and forth finish to half number one. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you on the mic. EG with a slight lead going into the second half, but they are on the CT side. They're much more favorable side of Ancient. Nuke map number 2, Mirage map number 3, as you can see up in the top right corner. You can also see who picked it as far as the logos are concerned, or above the mini-map, it'll say what map we're on and who picked it. Just a little HUD lesson for y'all in case you're curious or want to double check your memory is correct throughout the course of the broadcast and future ESL broadcasts too. EG with a very heavy lean towards mid, 3 through donut, 1 through mid, just a solo HexT to anchor the B site. And he hasn't had the brightest of games just yet, but there's a time to wake up for everybody. And for Hex, that time will be now as they start to pressure. B-Wills goes a hunting out towards Snake, and he is stepped on by jeorge. Hex has made a lot of noise. He's also heard a lot of footsteps around the B site, rather. As the bomb goes down, it's a retake time for EG. Next is a little bit of chip damage in the meantime while he just sits around the cube waiting for somebody to push him. And now he's picked up a pair. Automatics here to help. And jeorge will finish off Cynic. That was a very fast retake for EG.
Yes, it was, and HexT picking up steam. He is the quiet one on this roster currently. Started the half at 3. He's found 2 in this one. That's a very scary proposition for Nouns going forward. EG solidify their lead further at 8-5. 9 seems like it might be a possibility. And the one lagging behind in HexT is now picking up speed as well. Nouns, they're not going to let that go quietly into the night. They got the bomb plant. That means they're going to hazard an investment. It's going to be a battle of the guns. Actually, no, never mind. They buy some SMGs. Okay. It's going to be full Galils, but they sold back about 2 MAC-10s and some utility for an execute, I'm sure. Nouns rely on the rifles, though, to try and find a way into this one. Automatic towards middle. Lucky to be alive. It's toy with Carson. I will say Nouns... or not Nouns, Evil Geniuses, excuse me, playing far more respectfully than Nouns did on their own defense.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, EG also know they don't need to aggress as much. That kind of plays into Nouns' playbook, taking early fights. EG can win the retakes as evidenced by the pistol round and also by their fast explosions on-site takes on the previous half. I think they're content with how well they can hold a site too, how much damage they can do if they can stall out long enough. That MAC-10 looks really good in CS2.
It does. First contact, doesn't think anybody's close. He's taken down. Good trade from HexT, but an opener might just compel them into B. All 4 players are here. The smoke's going to go down for long. It is going to be a B play. Junior's tucked in the corner with a FAMAS. He has his work cut out for him. He does have support from HexT. HexT will take contact. HexT will double down. Okay. Talk about coming alive in the second half. Junior swings off the contact, finds a third. All 3 going unanswered. The last alive is Cynic. He does have a MAC-10, but he does not have a chance in the round. 9-5 secured. Bomb plant disallowed. And at this point, EG might just run away with it. It's going to have to be a save for the Nouns. It's going to be a 10th for the defense. From there, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to the end of map 1.
Yes, this 13 rounds to victory thing is taking some getting used to. Because, Nate, you and I have both worked a decent amount of the game that shall not be named as well. But it just feels weird in Counter-Strike.
It does. I feel like there needed to be a change to pistol rounds if they wanted to do this.
Or economy in general.
Yeah, I mean, an economy overall rework for the CT side specifically would be great. But just doing it out of the blue to make the game shorter does make sense content-wise. but it does not make sense economy-wise. Pistols just become so important.
Not everyone's a nutter butter on the pistols. That was nice.
Heck 9 strikes true twice a day. That was the first. Nouns. 3. Considering a play towards a middle or B as they fall out of A main. Blue Geniuses is just holding their lines, not over-aggressing. Junior in towards Donut. 2 towards B and 1 passively spotting A, not wanting to play up close against pistols. Seems like an A split is the call. 40 seconds remaining. Junior should spot across here. Here comes the press. The Galil, a belabored spray. Carson takes down jeorge through the wall. Galil for Junior has to do something big. One secured, a second almost. Instead, it's Carson, though. A second in the round for him as he recovers the M4 back towards Temple. HexT does him in. It's still even footing. 2 versus 2, now 2 versus 1. CJ as well doesn't have an upgraded weapon. It's going to be hard pressed to hold this post plant. There are 2 players approaching from different directions. The Galil, still not enough. Automatic puts him to the ground. In Nouns, they did well to find a bomb plant, but they were still a long way from finding the round. EG, double digits have been secured.
They do a good amount of damage to the economy on the EG side, though, so that's going to be at least some little solace that Nouns can take with them. Plus the bomb plant. They got some good kills, a little bit of success here and there, maybe some confidence to build with. Walco will get dropped in M4. Automatic will toss the op to Junior. Was curious if we're going to see Automatic pick up the op, which has not been something we've seen since, I want to say, the old 2018 Cloud9 days, where literally everybody on that roster, except for, I want to say, Rush, would pick up the op. It's Junior, of course. Him and Automatic, 14 each. jeorge at 12. HexT and Walco just behind at 9 and 8, respectively. Over on Nouns, though, it's been the CJ and the Carson, so with everyone else at 8 kills apiece. Lots of utility for Nouns, none left for EG. A minute 22, they have a smoke and a flash. That's a critical thing to keep an eye on. If they have to go for a retake, have to go for a stall, it's going to be gunfights only.
For Nouns, Automatic towards the middle, though, finds one. Walco traded in towards Jaguar. Early fights do favor EG. And with that, they can kind of just give away a bit of map control. Hold their lines. Junior on the op, holding cage. He wills. Has gotten out. Oh, he plays his hand a little too early. HexT now can cover the back lines of the opper. HexT linking forward, not expected at all. 1 free, a second, perhaps a second secured. HexT has been the king of multi-frags in this map. Marky, the last alive, on an island. Bomb on his back, sure, but so much to do. And only 35 seconds to do it. He's going to walk towards Jaguar. The op is already holding. No, he does not miss these kinds of shots. That's a free one. Again, the op can be difficult to use, but if you're going to walk into the angle, the op's going to win it 11 times out of 10. That's a free one for Junior. 11-5 and no bomb plant. They will be able to buy Nouns, but they're running out of rope. We might be off to nuke sooner rather than later.
And what a fast score line, too, right now for EG in favor of them, right? I think it was a 13-10 yesterday on Ancient. And it was a 9-3 half, I want to say, in favor of EG as well, where Nouns brought it back and made it incredibly competitive. This time EG are just running rampant, but the thing that is different today than yesterday is the individuals on EG are hitting everything. This is EG peaking at the right possible time to try and qualify for ESL Challenger Jönköping. And they are literally hitting their stride at the best possible moment. We saw the glimpses, we saw the beginnings of it in the earlier series against Forsaken, where they just completely ran over Forsaken. Now Nouns are unable to get anything done. The only thing is, Nuke is next, and that is a Nouns playground. They like this map. Oh, that's a dry fight, a dry nade swing rather from Carson. Marky there, little better late than never, keeps him alive. Bomb will be recovered, and some space gained, especially with Automatic the casualty. But where do Nouns end? B is open, and they're looking the right way.
Yes, they are. Walco, though, towards the middle. Finally finds something in response. Cynic, however, is the spearhead for this game. HexT is here to watch the cross, but he does not win the duel. CJ has been fiery hot on the entries, and this round is no different. At this point, EG are calling it quits. All three players congregating towards A. Bomb plant being allowed on B. It's going to be safe. It's going to be a 6th for Nouns as they finally put something together on the offensive.
Yeah, AG have no way back in, so they're not going to go for anything at all. They'll just hold and save. But Nate, it's all because of another early pick out towards middle and automatic. Without that, the round isn't as wide open. They're not able to get an open B site. Then HexT, of course, getting domed by CJ, who's been hitting so many heads in these past 2 days. Money to buy up again for EG, just enough. Nouns. They close the gap a little bit, but it's still 5 rounds. 1 round more for EG and they guarantee OT. Famas and an M4A1. Expect Junior's op to get aggressive here. Expect that op from Junior to do some damage. Lots of pressure in towards B. Snake with 2. And then 2 on the B side proper. Walco's just running it down. He'll walk through the smoke. He'll see nothing here and back away to group up with jeorge. But look at the rotation from Nouns. All but 1 outside of A main. And all they have watching A on the EG side is a passive hold from Junior. Automatic makes his way through as well. jeorge down in mid. Kind of keeping an eye on the rotation. This could get ugly for both sides. It all matters on if they get the right smokes down on the Nouns side. They only have 1 to work with. And if Junior can catch somebody off, Automatic's made his way to the side proper too. Nouns might be killing themselves by taking this much time.
They might. Sometimes Cynic's contact here might just compel a rotation back towards B. It does. A 3rd player coming in. That's an automatic. Nouns doing well to keep every avenue open, but they are leaving it down to the wire. That's what's worrisome. The Opera Junior is still here holding A main where the bulk of the offensive lies. Smoke will come in. Deeper angle. Walco. He'll follow away with the Molotov. It's going to be an A play. Spot comes in. Junior misses the shot, but he has the information, and he's still alive. That's important. jeorge towards Donut. Finds the first. Spots the second as well. Peeking and doesn't quite get it. He shot from the side, but he does damage. Cynic on this flank could do a lot. It's all on automatic timing, and he doesn't find it. This could be interesting. Cynic on the flank finds 1. A second secured. Cynic on the flank. A critical linchpin for the squad. Automatic trying to find inroads in response. Junior as well, back to his old self. Automatic. The final nail in the coffin. A round that could have gone either way to the very bitter end, but a round that nevertheless goes the way of EG. That was a chaotic one. A round left down to the wire, but a round that EG thrive in.
Junior doing a lot of work there. Automatic coming in to save the day too. Cynic massive double in towards house. 3 kills on the round, including that one. The side swipe onto, I want to say it was HexT and Donut. EG get themselves to map point first on their own pick. Buy up from Nouns though. Try and stay alive in map number 1. No op for Cynic, and I don't think there's a reason to be using one if you are Cynic, because we just saw what he could do with a rifle. Flash in the cave. Walco runs away. He's able to escape all alone. They know where he is. They know he can't have gone far. He's got no support. Molotov goes deep. Flashbang at his feet. They don't clear him outright! And he does get 1. At the very least, job done for the in-game leader of Evil Geniuses. Automatic trying to re-aggress. Keep control of the caves. There's 2 ways in and out. Junior! That's an aggressive peek. And that'll restore man advantage to Evil Geniuses. With jeorge just missing the info on Carson, who slipped up towards red. So segmented are the Nouns. And Automatic's been called in. He's got the right read.
Junior peeking in, back to his old self again. I'm gonna keep saying it. He's feeling the op. Peeks in, finds Cynic. Carson knows this angle's a possibility. Properly. Yes, he does. Catching automatic looking. Carson looking to find a way back into it for his squad. Keep in mind, it's do or die from here on forward. Hex, though, a timing onto the IGL. Leaves just B-Wills in a 1 versus 3. He's let some shots ring through. They know where he is. He has to isolate the duel. 20 seconds. The time is of the essence. He finds the first. No ammo in the magazine, though, and the last two have grouped up. Junior and George will not let this one slip away. The up of Junior finds the shot. 13-6 in favor of EG on the opener, and that was a dominant map, one that we did not see yesterday.
No, it was pretty close in the first series between these two teams yesterday. This one